Well, good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream, and I am going to do your January the 18th spiritual principle a day in a meditation. I hope you're having a wonderful morning. It's probably too early for you, and I imagine that you will have a beautiful day when you wake up. You'll start with the podcast and take it from there. Okay, the title of the spiritual principle a day meditation is Surrendering to Change. Sounds good. Let's see what it has to say. Surrender means having the open mindedness to see things in a new way, as well as the willingness to live differently. Living Clean, Chapter 3, Awakening to Our Spirituality. Phew, that was a mouthful. Change has a terrible reputation. It's scary and might make our lives less predictable. Many of us arrive in NA knowing for sure that we want to change the outside aspects of ourselves, improve our health and our finances, further our education, get a career. Common wisdom has it that change is an inside job, and that makes sense to us too. We want to change our state of mind and stop bouncing between disturbing thoughts and complete numbness. We love to turn the volume way down on the negative chatter in our heads. Then we learn the inside job is more than mental. NA is a spiritual program. For many of us addicts, that realization makes us feel like we finally come home. For some of us, that's the moment many of us want to bolt out the door and never come back. But we stay. We are told that living by spiritual principles means, at its core, being honest, open minded, and willing. Even though we haven't been living that way, we see the value of those principles, and most of us want to be like that. When working a program, we ultimately default to telling the truth rather than being avoidant or keeping secrets. We become open minded to others' perspectives rather than relying on the outlook and behaviors that got us here. Being willing to get a sponsor, attend meetings, write some step work, and take a commitment is surrendering to the program's spiritual aspects. Gradually, we gain some freedom. For those of us with more clean time, it's no different. Being open minded and surrendering to change continues to be a necessity if we want any level of serenity. We can become rigid or completely lax in our program. Staying connected to NA reminds us to apply what we've learned and to remain open to learning more. Change is inevitable. I can choose to resist it or surrender to it. Surrender has a good reputation around here. I think I'll give it a try. Are you going to give it a try? Let's take a moment of silence and meditate on that and follow that by the we version of the serenity prayer. Moment of silence now, please. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today, please and thank you. What a marvelous, marvelous meditation. This is deep. This is a deep meditation and very well written. I love it. I mean, I'm looking at it and I'm like, man, there's so many directions to go in here, but let's keep it simple, like the just for today, right? Let's just keep it simple and focus on the title, Surrendering to Change. Because I know for me, when I started coming to Narcotics Anonymous, it took a long time for me to really get with the God of my own understanding and realize that this was a spiritual program Whether I thought it was or not was irrelevant. It was. And you can only go so far. You can only go so far with your recovery if you're not willing to accept that change is necessary. Change is going to happen with or without your permission around you, to the people around you, to situations, and to yourself. You are going to change constantly. What you did when you were 20 years old compared to what you do at 55 are completely different things. The way you look at situations, just from human development, there has been change. You've matured. So it's the same way in recovery. When we first get here, we're thinking, if I don't pick up anymore, that's fine. That's what I'm here for, is to stop using drugs, go to some meetings, get my kids back, get a job, buy a house, get a career, go to college. That's what I want to do. So what else is there to change? I mean, I'm not using drugs and new possibilities have arisen. What more could there possibly be? Spirituality. And maybe your spirit is in a good place. If you've accomplished all those things 9 times out of 10, you're pretty good character. But what about the other stuff that you haven't addressed? A lot of people come into the program and they never have the beauty and honor of doing the 8th and 9th step in their life. They never have the opportunity of making amends to people that they've harmed from the days when they were using, the wreckage of their past. And quite honestly, they're just continuing on in the same patterns, leaving dead bodies behind them everywhere they go. There's people like that are clean. But honey, let me tell you, they might be clean, but they are not serene. And I don't want that for you. I want for you to be serene. I want you to have peace. It's crazy to be clean, but not serene. That's a lot of drama. And you don't deserve that. You don't. I know that you can do it, and I believe in you. So today, we know change is inevitable. You can choose to resist it or you can surrender. Today, I want for you to surrender. You've been in the flow of the mighty stream, and I want you to go forward and do something mighty today. Make January 18th the most beautiful day that you have ever lived. And I will be talking to you tomorrow.